7 virgins were buried alive to save a dying land. Part 2. Dora ran out of the hospital like a mad woman. Her slippers tore off on the road, her hair scattered in the wind, people staring at her as she ran blindly into the busy Lagos street. Her heart pounded heavily in her chest. She couldn't think straight. The voice she heard on the phone still echoed in her head. Her boss, Madam Koi Koi. "You bastard! You've ruined me! You rot in jail!" Those were the words that struck Dora like thunder. She didn't even wait to breathe before running. She knew what that meant. There had been a robbery in her supermarket and she wasn't there. She was doomed. When she reached the supermarket, her fear became reality. Police vans parked outside, the blue light flashing. People stood in small groups whispering. The front door was shattered. The shelves were half empty. Dora's knees went weak. Before she could hide, Madam Koi Koi saw her. The woman's heels clicked sharply against the tiled floor as she marched straight toward Dora. "You don't kill me, Dora! You don't finish me!" she screamed, slapping her across the face. The crowd gasped. Dora staggered backward, holding her cheek as tears filled her eyes. "Madame, please, please, it's not what you think." "Shut up!" Madam Koi Koi shouted, grabbing her by the collar. "You were the only one here. You think say I don't know? Now you open my shop for them thieves, Abi?" "Madame, no, I swear. My daughter fainted in school. I ran to arrest this useless woman," Madam Koi Koi thundered, turning to the police. "Until she pays my money, make she rot for cell." Before Dora could say another word, the police grabbed her roughly. The metal door slammed behind her that night, and she screamed until her voice cracked. Inside the cold, dark cell, she cried endlessly. Her tears fell on the dusty floor as she called her daughter's name in whispers. The next morning, Adeshina came. His face was pale, his eyes red. "Dear, you have to eat," he said softly, pushing his small food pack through the rusty bars. "I can't," Dora whispered, shaking her head. "Give it to the children. They need it more." The police officer sitting nearby laughed mockingly. "If she no chop, make she die of hunger now. Now so poor people they behave. You sure say God go pay Mrs. Koi Koi debt?" Adeshina looked at him sadly, then turned back to his wife. "God will intervene soon. We just need to believe." But Dora broke down crying. "God? Ade, we've believed for years. Where is he?" The officer laughed again. "They play. You go soon see, say even devil no fit help una." That night, Dora couldn't sleep. The mosquitoes buzzed, the walls stank, and her body ached. She sat in a corner, praying silently. Then, something strange happened the next evening. Madam Koi Koi came into the police station, dressed in a fine red lace gown and gold earrings, calm and smiling. The same woman who had been shouting the night before now looked peaceful. "Release her," she said quietly. "She's free." The police looked at each other, confused. "Madam, what about your money?" one of them asked. "It's settled," Madam Koi Koi said quietly. "She can go." Dora blinked, lost in shock. She stood frozen until the officer unlocked the cell. Outside, she saw Adeshina waiting for her. They hugged tightly, crying into each other's shoulders. "How did it happen?" she asked, looking into his eyes. Adeshina sighed deeply. "You should be thankful to God that you are free, not asking questions," he said quietly. They walked home that night through the empty streets. The moon was bright, but the road was quiet. The children were already asleep when they arrived. Dora sat down slowly on the old plastic chair in their cracked sitting room. "We need to talk, Ade," she said softly. "How did it happen? We're nobody. How did that woman suddenly forgive us?" Adeshina looked down at his hands. "They helped me. They insisted." "Who helped you?" Dora asked sharply. "The oracle from my village, Ilu Jayeola," he muttered. Dora frowned, confused. "What do you mean?" Adeshina sighed. "The 2 robbers came back on their own free will. They confessed everything and returned all the stolen goods." Dora's eyes widened. "What? They came back on their own free will?" A low voice suddenly answered from behind her, deep and chilling. "Yes, their spirits were called." Dora turned around sharply and screamed. An old man stood at the door, wearing a red wrapper tied around his waist, beads hanging from his neck, and holding a shekere covered in red cloth. His eyes glowed faintly in the dim lantern light. "Jesus!" she screamed. "Calm down," the man said calmly, stepping inside. "We came in peace." "We?" Dora whispered, trembling. A cool breeze swept through the room, and a strange woman appeared beside the old man, tall, fair-skinned, her long hair flowing, wearing white cloth and red beads. Her feet did not touch the ground. Dora fell to her knees, shaking. "Who are you people?" she cried. "They are from my village," Adeshina said quietly. The woman smiled faintly. "The gods have chosen your husband. We are here to fulfill our duty." Before Dora could speak again, the shekere in the old man's hand rattled by itself. The lantern flickered. The wind howled outside. Dora's heart pounded. The woman's eyes glowed red as she whispered, "The gods never choose without sacrifice." And in that moment, the light went off. To be continued.